Andy McCarthy, Fox News contributor, joins us now. Andy, good morning to you.
Morning.
Here we are again,
Morning.
maybe. Here is President Biden talking about his business dealings with his son, saying he had nothing to do about it.
I don't know what he was doing. I did not know he was on the board of that company. I've never discussed my business or their business, my sons or daughters. I never discussed a single thing with my son about anything having to do with Ukraine. I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period.
So obviously that covers a couple of years of period there. Republicans say he lied. What is the constitutional question, Andy?
Bill, this is really more about math than merit at this point. The Constitution provides for impeachment for treason, bribery, or high crimes and misdemeanor. They already have, in terms of a bribery investigation, they've got more evidence here of inappropriate behavior than Trump was actually impeached for in connection with the Ukraine transaction back in 2019. So it's not a question, I don't think, of whether there's a basis to open an inquiry. It's very simply, does McCarthy have enough votes to get that through? Because it's a pointless, unforced error to try to get an impeachment inquiry and to lose, raise the profile of it, and then if he doesn't have the votes, not get it. That really undermines the investigation. Meantime, Comer's doing a fine job as it is. And you'd be much better off just letting him continue what he's doing rather than, have a humiliating loss in terms of authorizing the inquiry.
The other thing is at the White House, they're not sitting around waiting to see if this is going to happen. On September 1st, just a Friday and a half ago, this is on NBC News at the headline, White House ramps up war room to battle expected GOP impeachment inquiry, saying that President Biden's aide studied the Clinton White House's 1998 response to impeachment as a model for a vigorous defense and making Republicans pay a political price. And I know that we can reach back in our memories and think about that and how that happened. Do you think that this White House has strong defenses that we've seen so far? Pretty much they've just said you don't have any of the information, but the impeachment inquiry, the idea is that then you have the power to get the information because you believe that it's there.
Yeah, Dana, I think they only have marginally more power with an impeachment inquiry than they have now. Basically, what this ramps up is the political urgency. When you defy the subpoenas of an impeachment committee, politically, I think that's more explosive than defying the subpoenas of, say, the Oversight Committee. But one way or the other, the Democrats are going to defy the subpoenas. The administration is not going to cooperate with this. And the question to me about the Clinton impeachment, having lived through that time and remembering it well, is there was very aggressive defense on the part of the administration and a lot of passivity on the part of the investigation. Judge Starr, who was a great, dignified man, decided to put his head down and get his work done rather than respond to all the noise. And it turns out you have to respond to the noise. So obviously, if they're going to go this route, the Republicans have to be ready to mount the public battle, which is more important than anything else.
Very interesting. Andy, thanks. Leading our coverage today with that analysis, Andy McCarthy.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.